Full edit mode. In this tutorial, we are going to begin learning the full edit mode. Please open Elements and follow along with the video so you can experiment as we go. We will learn the how and why of duplicating your photos, using the Undo History palette, and how to save your photos properly. Open a photo of your choice. You can do this by going to the File in the menu bar, selecting Open, find the photo of your choice. You can double click or click once and select Open. The first thing we will do with this photo, which by the way is one of our student photos, Brooke Barkley, that was taken on a field trip. The first thing we want to do is we want to duplicate the photo. It is extremely important to do this so that you always have your original photo to go back on if needed. You can duplicate your photo in two ways. Firstly, you go to the File in the menu bar and select Duplicate, which I will not do yet. The second option is to go to the picture in your project bin, right click, and select Duplicate, which I will do. You will be immediately prompted to name your photo. You can keep the title that Element has given you, which essentially is the original name with copy attached, or you can name it something entirely different. I like to add adjusted to the end of it so that I know I've made some adjustments to this photo. This may not seem too important to you because you may feel you will remember what photos you have adjusted. But by the end of the semester, when you have 500 or 600 photos, or if you're like me and you're old, who said that? If you're like me and you have 50 to 60,000 photos on one hard drive, you may not remember what's been adjusted and what hasn't. So I like to add the adjusted at the end. Note, this photo is not saved, just renamed. So I can now get out of my original photo so I don't mess it up. And here I have my adjusted photo. After duplicating your photo, the next thing you should get into the habit of doing is opening your Undo History palette. We briefly discussed this in the introduction tutorial. To open this, you must go to the menu bar, select Window, and Undo History. Notice mine has a check mark, so therefore mine's already opened. This will remain in my dock now until I close the palette. Unfortunately, working on the school computers, you will have to open it every time you open the program. Notice the Undo History palette. Let's have a look at the purpose of this palette. I'm going to play around with this photo, and as I make changes, notice the Undo History palette. All the necessary editing was done to this photo when Brooke submitted it. So I'll just play around with it, and let's see, maybe I will convert it to black and white. So when I do that, it gives me some options here, selecting different styles. So I could make it an infrared style, newspaper. I'm going to go with the scenic landscape and just click OK for now. So now I have a black and white photo. Notice the change in the Undo History. I have two things that I have done to this photo now. I've duplicated it and I've converted to black and white. Next, I'm going to crop it. The crop tool is located here. Notice the shortcut key C, so I can click on it, or I could just hit the C key. I'm going to select a size up here. That's going to give me, let's say, a 5 by 7 inch photo. Oh, I guess I selected. Here we go, 5 by 7 inch photo. So I'm going to select an area of this, like this. I'm going to move it around, and I'm going to pick this. Now, notice in the bottom right corner, I have an accept or a reject button. I like what I've done here, so I'm going to accept it. So now I've cropped. Let's look at the Undo History palette. Duplicate, convert to black and white, and crop. We have only completed 3 steps here as shown. However, up to 50 states or steps are recorded at a time. This may seem a little over the top. Who does 50 changes to their photos? Well, you will before long. One other thing to note regarding this palette. If you want to make a change to one of your steps, everything you have done after your change will be wiped out once you back up and make a change. You can back up and review how things looked at a particular step. So let's go to the Undo History. Let me back up to Duplicate, and notice I'm gone right back to my original. Oh, and I can go back to Crop, and I'm back to where I was. If I go back up to Duplicate, and now I make a different change, I'm going to lose all the steps that are underneath. Let's go, and I'm going to go back to the black and white, and I'm going to add a filter here. Just some kind of a, let's go to this cutout filter. You're going to get a screen here. We're just going to play with it. I'm just going to say okay. I'm not going to make any changes, and this is what kind of a weird looking result, but given the right photo, that may look pretty neat. So now notice the crop is gone because I backed up, made a change. Anything underneath that now will disappear. So I can, maybe I don't like this cutout, I'm going to go back to black and white, and if I want to crop, I actually have to go back to the crop tool and redo it. In your introduction to the interface, you learned you could minimize the project bin to maximize your editing area. If you would prefer even more editing space, you can collapse your palette bin as well by clicking on the double arrow in the top right corner of the palette bin. So now I got a little bit more area, and let's minimize my project bin, and now I got even more area. However, my picture remains the same size. If I select the hand tool, I have several options in the option bar. Here's the hand tool with shortcut H. Up in my options bar, I can choose Fit Screen. That means my picture will fit as much on the screen as it can, keeping the entire picture viewable. I can fill the screen. That is, it will fill the entire screen, but you will not be able to see edge to edge on the photo. The Actual Pixels tab will enlarge the photo to view the photo up close. This would be used when doing up-close work on the photo. For example, sharpening the eyes of a portrait. Now I'm going to give you a little tip. A shortcut tip on how to navigate your picture when it is in the enlarged state as shown. No matter what tool you are on, so right now I'm on the Move tool, or I can select the eyedropper tool. If I press the space bar, as done, you will see that the cursor turns into a hand. I'll let go, press it again, and it becomes a hand. Now I can drag my photo wherever I would like on the screen. Soon as I let go of the spacebar, it now returns to the original tool. If I want to move it again, click the hand tool and go back to wherever I want. In addition to this, if I double click the hand tool, so again, no matter what tool I'm on, if I double click the hand tool, my picture will now resize to fit the screen. Again, if I want to enlarge, I'm on the zoom tool now. I want to double click the hand tool. I now fit the screen. Neat little shortcut. Saving your photos. Once we've made all the changes necessary to our picture and we are satisfied with the end result, we will want to save it. As with most programs, you will go to your menu bar, select File, Save As, and now you place your picture where you know you can find it. Please note, do not save your photos on the hard drive of the school computer. You must save it to the M drive, or better yet, a memory stick. To save it to a memory stick, be sure to plug in your memory stick, navigate to the spot on the My Computer where your device is located. Here mine's called Kingston. Find the file that you want to store this on. So I'm going to create a new folder and I'm going to call it Test. I'm going to press Save. And once you press Save, you will get a screen as shown here. Usually the default looks like this. It will have quality of 9 and shown with a high level save. We want to slide the slider all the way over so it's at its maximum, which should be 12. And now, instead of saying high, this should say maximum. Notice the difference in the size of the file when it goes from 9 to 12. I go back to the 9, and it shows you it's 669 kilobytes. As soon as I go to 12, it's 2.8 megabytes. There are 1,000 kilobytes in 1 megabyte. So right now at 2.8, you have 2,800 kilobytes. So that's a huge difference in the file size. It will take up more memory, but it will be a better quality picture. And if you're going to print your photo, you want to save your photos at the maximum quality possible. In the Format options located below, make sure Baseline Standard has been selected. Now you click OK, and your photo should be saved. So today we have reviewed how to duplicate our photo, the purpose of the hand tool and how to use it effectively, the Undo History palette, and saving our photo. Stay tuned for your next tutorial. Have a great day.